제가 프레젠테이션 영상을 계속 봤는데 프레젠테이션 영상에 게임 플레이 장면이 하나도 없어요, 그렇죠? 그래서 아마 이 영상을 보시고 리비전스를 플레이하시면 더 재미있을 것 합니다. 영상을 먼저 보시겠습니다.
Hello. My name is Steve Cha. I am the creative director for Revisions, and I'll be speaking to you about the project. But before I do so, I wanted to thank the team at Out of Index. We don't get many opportunities to showcase experimental and independent games, so your festival is creating a really special opportunity for us. Thank you for putting on the festival, and we feel very honored and privileged to be showcased at your festival. Wish I could be in Korea, but it's really far away. But on to Revisions. So, Revisions, this is the poster. That's me. And this game is about my life. It is an autobiographical vignette game in 2 acts. I'll be talking to you about the structure of the game as well as the metafictional elements of the game and why they're cool, or I hope they're cool. So let's start with the structure, right? And to demonstrate, I'm going to use Post-its. So structure, it has 2 acts. In the first act, you play a series of 5 mini games. 5 mini games, and in a fairly linear fashion. You play them one right after the other. Each one is a mini game. And in the tradition of vignette games like Dysphoria, each mini game attempts to convey to the player through its mechanics what it felt like for me to live through those moments in my life. The topics of the mini games range from language to family to drinking to sexuality to friendship to dating. And after that, you go into the second act. Second act. There we go. You go into the second act where you can see behind the scenes of each vignette. So at this point, you can select any of the vignettes, but when you select them, the game will transition from 2D to 3D. So things that might have looked whole and complete in 2D turn out to be quite broken in 3D. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we segue into metafiction. Metafiction, by the way, is when any piece of fiction acknowledges or demonstrates any self-awareness. In this case, in the story of the game, the story acknowledges that it is a game. And it also has a moment where it talks about narrative versus design, which is a pretty big topic in the game design studies. At one point, there is a narrator version of me and a designer version of me, and they slap each other because I wanted to demonstrate that that kind of conflict was something that affects me in the making of the game itself. The design of the game also has several metafictional elements. Specifically, they deal with player agency. So they'll ask questions like, "What's your name, player?" And "I don't really care what your name is, player." It kind of plays with the idea of how games try to make a player feel like they're in control and then makes fun of those traditions and those tropes. And lastly, as I mentioned, the second half of the game includes a moment where the player goes from 2D to 3D. And in doing so, the game shows the player how different games create illusions to trick players. So, for example, in 2D you see a heart, right? But in 3D, it was broken the entire time, but you don't realize it until you see it in 3D. And those are the illusions that are present in our everyday life as well. So what we tried to do was show how the illusion of game designs are metaphors for the illusions that we have in life. So play the game. I hope you find it engaging or relatable on some level, even though it's about me. It is a mature topic, so I don't recommend kids play it. But I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any feedback, please feel free to get a hold of us at www.revisionsgame.com. Take care.